Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Levi. This is Mopar V Code. This episode is going to be a little bit different than the usual. We're going to be talking about my Ram 2500 today. This truck's been in my possession since 2015 or so pretty much most of its life. I've done most of the work that you see to it, including this silly little snorkel here, these ridiculous tall tires, 37-inch tires, added a 3-inch lift to it. I put this little Power Wagon grill and bumper on it. It is now an AM, not a Ram, as it's over here somewhere. M, R. R is missing, just recently. Car wash. Damn you. Anyway, funny story. Well, let me just show you real quick here. See what you think. Alright guys, so story time with Levi here. Me and my kids wake up in the morning, we go out to the truck to get in, to head into town, run some errands, jump in, shut the door, push the button, fires up fine, go to reach for the lever, shift it out of gear, and all of a sudden, the whole front end just drops. Like, what? That's weird, that's never happened before. So we jump out, take a look, and this is what we find. You can see that it's dropped quite a bit in comparison to the rear. It's quite a bit lower. In fact, it's actually all the way on the bump stops. Might have something to do with that guy. Yep, that is the coil spring. These are aftermarket springs. These are a reputable brand. I don't really want to bash the company because they are a good, reliable brand. This is kind of a fluke accident, I'm sure, but maybe it's more common than I know of, and maybe nobody's talking about it. But anyway, the spring, I thought maybe had just jumped out of the isolator for some reason. Seems kind of odd, but I know when you get a suspension in a bind at an angle, it can pop out. I've never experienced that with this system, but that's actually not the case. As you can see here, we have a snap fracture, and the other piece is actually laying over here. So if you take a look at this fracture, it's a fairly clean break. There's not a lot of defect along one edge over the other. Sometimes I've seen, like on other components before, where it may have like a factory defect in the casting or a fracture that happens later on. You'll get like a partial rusty part here because it's been existing, and then a clean snap on the other half of it. But this is fairly consistent throughout. Granted, you see a little surface rust on there because it's been a couple days, you know, since this has happened. But anyway, I wanted to kind of walk you guys through what it would take to swap this these coils out and kind of go from there. But it doesn't end there. After this happened in the morning, I walk over to my my garage and start doing some work on stuff. And a couple hours go by, and all of a sudden I hear a loud bang. I'm like, what is that now? I thought maybe it was my kids or something blew off the house or something. It was pretty loud. And go outside, look around. Don't really see much. Kids are inside. Walk around to the other side of the truck, and sure as shit, the other side of the truck now is leaning almost as far as the driver's side. So let's take a look at that real quick. So you can see like how low it is, like comparison. Quite a bit lower, right? So this one did not actually shoot out, but I'll get you in here. It has snapped as well. What in the world is going on with this thing? So, 2 fractures, one day. That's super bizarre, right? like what is happening, like what is in the air that's causing this to happen. So anyway, we're gonna get them swapped out and cross our fingers that this doesn't ever happen again. But just want to put it out there. Not sure how common this is, but from what I researched, I didn't really find any reports of other people having this issue. But anyway, let's get started. I need to get it off the gravel and preferably onto that piece of concrete over there. That way when I'm lifting it up and putting it on jack stands, I know it'll be kind of a solid foundation. So I got my jack out and I've got me a piece of 4x4 because it's a 4x4 truck. And we'll get that replaced, and that'll allow us to lift the suspension up and take some pressure off the drive shaft, just enough to where I can back it up. Hopefully the other side does not pop out while I'm trying to do that. My luck, it will probably pop out. So we'll just have to see. All right, let's get you in here and check out this redneck suspension. Oh yeah, look at that. Sweet. Might be a little rough riding. Alright, so I got everything drug out here. The plan is to jack up the truck frame and body up high enough and put our large jack stands underneath the frame. And then with the jack underneath the axle supplying all the lift, then we'll take off the tires, disconnect a few components, suspension components, and then lower down the axle far enough to be able to slip in our new coils here. They're all new and shiny, so straight from the manufacturer. So we'll get those put in, and hopefully that goes smoothly. All right, guys, so I kind of got to drop down now to the point where we can get the springs slipped in here, but just kind of a quick summary. Disconnected my lower shock supports, disconnected the drag link and the track bar, the drag link from the point over there on the spindle, and then over here on the frame for the drag link, or track bar rather. And then that allows me to drop it down. I did have to kind of kick out my 4x4 blocks that I had underneath my jacks to get it to go low enough, but it is still quite not quite there. Honestly, it could go just a little bit more, but without redoing my whole setup here. I've got a couple spring compressors, so we can probably squeeze it a couple inches there to get it to come down and fit in there. So we're going to do that now. We'll just throw those compressors on there and try not to kill ourselves here. Just like that. Okay, let's do the other side. This side actually is broken up in 3 pieces. I thought it was just 1 piece, but you can actually see it's 4 pieces. What the hell? That's all from the driveway. Hasn't gone anywhere. The other side snapped, and then this side snapped, so that's crazy. I've never seen such a thing. Look at that. What in the world? All right, guys. Well, hey, that was just kind of a quick down and dirty show and tell of what I've got going on with my personal daily driver. Nothing super fancy there, but could have probably picked a little bit cooler of a day. It got pretty hot on me. It was upper 85s, almost 90, with humidity, of course. But anyway, it went pretty good. this driver's side, and we'll just kind of go over this again. The driver's side broke into two separate pieces, and this is the one that ejected from the truck initially. The passenger side, after this one immediately broke, I went and checked the front. This side, actually, the passenger side didn't have any fractures or any breaks in it at that time. A couple hours pass, fast forward, and I hear a loud bang, go outside, check it. I do notice one coil, this very bottom one down here, looks like it had snapped at the bottom. Today, fast forward to today, when we went to go install the new springs, I jack it up and look at it. There's actually 4 different pieces now. So it actually broke a couple more times just sitting in the driveway until today. So maybe 3 days go by the time I notice this issue or have the issue to the time when I'm getting the new springs put in. So fairly quick turnaround, but just in that short of time had those additional breaks. So it's really got me scratching my head what could have caused that or why that would happen like that. Never heard of such a thing, or maybe you guys have. If you have, please let me know in the comments, because this is completely new to me. But anyway, so I got it put in. That went really well. Got the spring compressors on those and was able to shove them in the hole. It was really close to not needing the spring compressors, but it was just like an inch or inch and a half worth of compression that I needed to apply to the coils. You could have probably got away without doing that if you drop your drive shaft out, maybe disconnect your brake lines. They're getting pretty tight at that point. So, you know, do what you want to do. I already had the spring compressors, so it was an easy button for me to do. So I didn't have to disconnect that drive shaft or disconnect the brake lines and then have to re-bleed everything. So I'm going to get these packed up and shipped back to the manufacturer. I doubt I hear anything back from them as far as any kind of update that I can report back to you guys on, but I may try to inquire just to see if they do have any information they could share with me, but that's about it on that. I did notice while I was underneath the truck and working on these coils that I've kind of got quite a bit of corrosion starting to happen on my frame rails and some of the other suspension components, the axles and things like that. It's kind of got me thinking that I might want to try to do some kind of preventative rust prevention underneath there as far as an undercoating of some sort. So I'm going to do some investigating into that, and once I've kind of made my mind up on what I want to do, I may make a video on that too, to kind of share what I've done with that. So but that's it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.